ready? Are you ready?
Let's get this show on the road indeed. It's been way too long, guys. So good to be back here for Classic Touring Car Racing Club TV. The good news is we've got the man himself back as well. That's the important thing. Let's bring out the big dog.
Hello,
Dude. How's the big dog doing, mate?
All right, yeah, I'm all right. So I do apologise for doing the podcast in my model shop, but we moved house in the last 3 months, and I know where to put them all, so they're in my office.
Hey, listen,
but yeah, I'm all right. How about you? How was your Christmas?
Oh yeah, it was good, mate. It was good. I think it's always the same. I think everybody's the same, aren't they? That it's a wonderful time, but it's blooming exhausted, and I went back to work for a break.
Yeah, it's nice going back to work. Just sit down and have a cup of tea, isn't it?
Yeah,
just
exactly.
sit there and do something without thinking about it. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. But no, it was nice. It was nice. But yes, so here we are. We're back again.
We are, mate. We are. Just quickly catch up with a few people jumping in with the comments. Good to hear from you. Cable Tie Motorsport, and we're back. Good evening, both. Good evening, sir.
Hello, mate. You're right.
Chris Savage. Hello, Sav. Evening, buddy.
Hello,
evening
Chris.
to you, mate. Nash Race, Neil Ashcroft. Evening,
Yes.
all.
Evening.
Welcome, mate. Don't forget, keep those comments coming in. Any questions as we go? It'll be good to catch up with you. It has just been way too long. Stu Waite, the man himself.
Okay.
Welcome in, champ.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all. How long do you think we got to keep saying Happy New Year to people as well?
I think it's till Friday, because like
Is
somebody
it?
was saying this, and I think it's like Friday, yeah, and it's like I'm not doing it. So that was that's kind of it. I think it's about right. People you haven't seen, but yeah, in the office and that sort of random saying hello to him.
Yeah,
but
it is bizarre. We've got quite a lot that you want to cover tonight, mate, because we've had a little hiatus, haven't we? I mean, first things first. I mean, jeepers, hang on 2 seconds, mate, because they're suddenly piling in, and I want to make sure everyone's involved. Nick the Prawn Vaughan, evening, everyone. Happy New Year.
Nick.
Yeah, Happy New Year's gone and
yes,
done.
there you go. Look, there you go. It's right.
Done. It's finished. It's finished. We finished with it. John Sandblaster, Tyson Ellie, mate. Happy
mate.
New Year, Dawesy and Big Dog. Hurry up and get that Rover out, mate. We want to see it raced in. Ashcroft says, Happy Easter. There you go.
Very nice. Yeah.
It's about
Before
right.
You know it will be a Brands Hatch. Yeah, I know. It will.
Exactly. Kevin Denwood, good evening,
hello,
everyone.
Kevin.
Oh, our very own Sonia Gibbons. Evening all. Watching whilst proofreading the dinner dance trophies. Chris, you're going to be very, very busy.
You are.
Brilliant. I cannot wait because I love your awards, it's so vibrant, it's so fun, and everybody really just gets the memo, don't they?
They do get the memo. It's nice. It's almost the start of the season. I know it's the end of last year, but it always feels like start of the season. You go and see your friends, having a few drinks, have a chat about some cars, and yeah, I really enjoy it, as you know. It's a bit too much sometimes, but yeah, I do enjoy it.
Hey, not as much as me when I decided that it made sense to call Mrs. D at 4 o'clock in the morning and tell her how much I love her.
Well, I've noticed since then she school shoot, doesn't she, to the
Yes.
to
Yes.
the dance to make sure
Keeps me safe.
that doesn't happen. Yes,
Keeps me safe, mate.
Not
Definitely.
be trusted.
Tune in Shed, Happy New Year. He's keeping it going.
New Year.
Stop causing trouble, Tune in Shed.
No, I know.
Lynn
Lynn.
Bates, Happy New to everyone. See, she's left out the year. That's quite good. So it's only part of it. And we'll see you at the awards. Bacon Dude, James Dunkley, looking forward to the awards night. Glad to hear it, mate. Are we going to see you? Are we going to see you back racing, Mr. Dunkley?
I think you are. You are going to see him this year. And I'll let him do the announcement, though. It's not for me to say.
No, I'm chuffed about that because he did have his. Well, I'd say he had his hiatus, but he was still at. I think he was at every round anyway, wasn't he?
He was. He kindly came along and helped out. And to be honest, he was helping out on the Friday with a bit of parking and all sorts at Donington and at other race events. So no, thank you.
No, and I had the odd bacon sandwich from them. The best
I've still not had one.
had.
I've still not had one. I do wonder if there's some sort of favouritism there, but you know.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know. What can I say? His comment, by the way, is Rolling Road tomorrow. So there you go. Good man. Glad to hear it. Lynn Bates, good evening, everyone. Stuart says Bacon's getting a dodgy jacket out for the awards, apparently. Oh, we're going. I can imagine the colour.
He's got a lovely colour jacket he wears. A lovely jacket. You must be. I'll have to fish out a picture for you later.
I will. Yeah. And as soon as you show me, I'll go, oh, yeah, that was the money I spent on the therapy to get it out of my head.
Yeah.
Philip Clegg says, I'm into classic minis. Love the lives here on the racing. It's great. Good man. Well, if you love the classic minis, make sure you get down to the race meets, mate. If you've got them, bring them out to race as well. Dunkley says, yeah, it's pigskin.
Oh.
God. I hope it isn't that. Right. We got to crack on because you have given me a massive list of stuff we want to. First things first.
Yeah, I sort of randomly ranted, wasn't I, this afternoon on email? So, last year was amazing. Last year was amazing. I think there's a bit of lag on the internet. Well, I don't know if it's you or me, but I think it's the weather. I'm going to put it down to that. So, I do apologise for the delay. It finished up. We finished up a bit like it is today, isn't it? It was raining, but we had some good races at Buxton. Those who were there on the Saturday night, thank you for coming along. Obviously, it was the 50th anniversary party. Some drinks and some food, and a band, which always helps cheer the evening on, doesn't it? So no, it was great. It finished the season well, and I hope it's taken it, to the next level for this season, which, membership's open and lots of people have already joined the club already. So it's looking very, very good. I have to say pre-66 is looking phenomenal already.
Oh, really?
It's an incredible amount of cars that are coming in. There's some other championships. Obviously, we've got the new 2013 pre-2013 championship for the turbocharged cars. And normally aspirated, of course, but it was to try and attract the sort of later cars that are now retro to us to bring the next generation of drivers into the club.
So for those who don't know, what sort of cars are we going to see in that then?
So they're still bodied saloon cars as usual, with the 5,000 examples to being produced before in a year prior to 2013. January 2013, and they are up to 2.5 litre turbocharged cars, and we hope to see what we can attract. The initial idea actually came from with the Super Tourer Power, like all the things that changed with Super Tourer Power. Drivers had turbocharged touring cars, so the NGTC stuff and the Super 2000 stuff, the latest stuff that was turbocharged, that doesn't run with the Super Tourers, because anything normally aspirated up to 2 litre can run with the Super Tourers. Hence why we allow the early Super 2000 cars. And so we thought, you know what, let's put a championship together with this for the pre-2013, and then to see what else comes along. And some very interesting stuff. I sent a few emails out just as feelers, really, to see if anyone would actually turn up. And it's looking very good, actually. So there's about 15 cars so far.
Wow.
So I'm quite pleased with that. So see where that takes us. Really, it's a bit of a new venture for us, but we just felt, you know, you've always got to keep moving forwards, and trying to sort of stick to our true identity of saloon cars, so that the cars that are in it are still bodied, etc., and not with like huge arches on the stuff. So really, we're going to just see what turns up. So if anyone's watching this is interested, please email enquiries@classictouringcars.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. In fact, it's me that monitors that anyway. So
Yeah.
but, yes.
Well,
So I went completely off track then. I got all excited about 2013 champ because Colin's done the regulations for it and spent a lot of time and effort doing it. And I just want to see some cars out there. So, but
absolutely. Well, and good evening, Colin. I know he might not
hello.
be watching.
He watches. He does a little. No, he will be watching. He'll be watching. He's a little shy. You know what he's like. He's shy. So
I know. I keep trying to convince that he comes on the show, but he just won't do it. And I want him to come on. I just love Colin and Sonia. They're just absolute salt of the earth, wonderful, wonderful people. Other than at Super Tourer last year, when he was determined to get me absolutely hammered on the Saturday night in the Kentagon to see how I commentated on the Sunday with a hangover, which I did. Primarily because I think we then went back to your setup afterwards. No, it was Sonia's setup, and she cooked us some chicken and stuff.
I was asleep. I slept through the whole thing.
You were
I
gone.
was tired. I was too tired. I've been racing. I did
it
decide
was
a good idea to do 8 races.
That was nuts, man. Definitely, that was bonkers. That was bonkers. It's not the championship you're talking about there, the pre-2013s, but you did talk about regs and stuff. And Philip Clegg actually said what he meant to ask. So he was the one that said about these Interclassic minis. Excuse me, how can he get the regs on engine build spec?
If you email enquiries@classictouringcars.com, I will send you over the regulations. The current regulations were finished. They literally went to bark like yesterday because we were sort of deliberating about a few things. But I'll get onto that in a moment. So if you just email enquiries@classictouringcars.com and I'll get them over to you, Phil. So
cool. Nice one.
Right, so I go back to my list. I did it in order, didn't I? Which was
just
after
quickly,
the dinner dance.
Hang on, just very quickly, just to catch up again as they're there.
Oh,
Craig Owen,
hello, Craig.
evening, mate. Evening,
Good
chaps,
to
and
see you.
Happy New Year. Nigel Baker says Happy New Year to all of the members and anybody else that's watching. I'm sure he means as well. Adam Moore, hello, mate. The legend that is Adam. Happy birthday for the other day, mate. Evening all. Tim Mizzen, another champ. Evening all. Roll on, Donny. And Philip Clegg says thank you for confirming the email. To drop you a line on that one. Right, sorry, mate. Right, where were we?
Right, so we start from the beginning, which was the list, which was dinner dances. Go to dinner dance and tell everybody that if you need to buy tickets, please do so by first thing Monday morning, and because cut-offs then, because Sonia has to speak to the hotel and organise the amount of food that's going to be produced and where people are going to be sitting. So if you could do that by Monday morning,
sat on the fence,
I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, if you're sat on the fence, people, whether to come, even if you haven't necessarily won, it's like come. It's one of the best parties ever. It's just so much fun, and it's I love the community of the Classic Touring Car Racing Club. I know that I've had fun on the microphone with a few others when I find out snippets of information. It's part of that community. Is everybody's all together, and it's like come along, guys. Seriously, it's just a wonderful party. If you've got awards, there's no excuse. Come on, let's do it. Let's get those trophies out. Saturday, 25th of January, Chestford Grange, which I've got to say is a brilliant venue.
Nice there, isn't it? It's nice.
It is. And it works well for awards because I host awards at a few different places. The bar's staffed well. The food is lovely. Yeah. It's served well in a timely manner. We do the dinner. We do the awards. We have a great big party afterwards. And genuinely, it lends itself very, very well because it's both a conference venue and a hotel rather than the hotel trying to run conferences.
Yeah, they're geared up for it. You're right. And they've got the AV guys come in and they set everything up for us. And as you say, like we get there, to be honest, we go up on the Friday nights, they're all settled in and go for a little swim with the kids on the Saturday morning before But no, it's nice. And, obviously I know that Colin has got the racing cars for the last race of the season. They're being scrutinised by the Motorsport UK. and we're just hoping to have them back in time.
We just need to be a bit stricter on the methodology on that, I think, this year.
Possibly, yes, possibly. I mean, there is some there is some cheating that goes on, but
Yes.
it is the last race of the season, so it's all or nothing. Sonia just pinged me actually, and she said a couple of people have been naughty and not returned their trophies. So if I'd known, I would have put them on Santa's naughty list, but sadly it's too late for that. But if you could do it, otherwise I've got to invoice you for it. So please bring them back.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah. Get it all.
So yeah, no names mentioned. We'll just move on from there. But if we could have our trophies back, that'd be great. Oh, you're right there. Oh, that's in Anki for a long time. Oh dear. Right.
Just at least I muted it for you, mate. You didn't want to listen to it, did you?
Oh dear. You know what? In one of their moves today, they took the beer away from me for January, and it's just I'm going crazy.
Well, I think it was safe to know full well that wasn't going to happen for me. I was just supping on a medicinal whiskey to start with, and now I'm having one of me 5 a day in the shape of an apple.
I've got a race suit to fit into, so
yeah. I've just got a big commentary box to fit into, so I'm safe, mate.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, true. So, dinner dancers, please, if you can get tickets. That's all I have to say, really.
No, exactly right. And I just want to quickly do this. I did quickly put this together earlier because we didn't do a Night of Champions show this time round. So just to make sure that everybody knows, the outright champions, of course, the beauty of the awards is that all of the class champions get their trophies and everything, top 3, all of those kind of things. Anybody who shows up, for their trophies, we get to shout from the rooftops about it. So the winner of the Everard Pre-66 touring cars was Ian Thompson. In that, I just love. You've got a Lotus Cortina as well, haven't you?
I might do, yeah.
Yeah, I love those things. They're just beautiful, beautiful cars.
It sits in the shed at the moment, but yeah, it's sitting there. Yeah, I'll have to use it at some point.
It's only because I saw the photos of the different things, and I just think they're stunning.
Oh, right, on that, yeah, Hazard, isn't it? Everyone's putting their cars in there.
Yeah,
I'll put mine on there as well. Yeah.
I just didn't know you had that one, and I just adore them. I think they're wonderful. I know that the Jordans, their favourite car out of their collection, and it is just the most immaculately prepared car I've ever seen. You could eat your dinner off of multiple places on their car, frankly. Andrew Jordan and Mike Jordan, and they just love the Lotus Cortina that they've got. So well done to Ian Thompson winning the Pre-66 touring cars. Serial victor Stephen Primmett with that ridiculously quick RS2000 and a ridiculously quick driver wins the Shell Oils Pre-83 Group 1 touring cars.
Congratulations.
Stuart Caie, he's done it again. He wasn't going to come back and race last year, and then he started winning again. And I have to still say this, he still gave me what I think is one of the most enjoyable races to commentate on for a very long time, if not ever, at Brands Hatch Super Touring Power, when he had the Texaco liveried Sierra Cosworth.
All right, yeah. Mike Manning.
That's it, yeah. Was ahead of him. He had all of his championship rivals behind him. And of course, in the twiddly bits, he was able to close right onto the back of Manning with his crowd behind him. But then on the straight, of course, that Sierra Cosworth is just like boom away. And it just made it this epic of going, right, he needs to make sure he's managing the cars behind him, trying to challenge. It was epic, genuinely one of the best races that I've commentated on. But he still managed to bring home the championship with his Beamer. So top job there, mate. New livery, but same result. So good man. Talking of a serial champion, the Bertie Haulage Pre-03 touring cars was won by Gary Preble in his Honda Civic EG. Good to see that they got that car sorted. So well done to Gary. Super Tourers, Alex Morgan won in the Vauxhall Astra Sport Hatch. I just love the Super Tourers. They're just some wonderful, wonderful cars that were out there. Josh Lawton in that immaculate Honda Civic EG, the Edmondson Electrical Classic Thunder winner. And of course, that is now split, isn't it? The Thunders, because the historic Thunder, Paultec historic Thunders, won by Colin Voice in his Escort Mark 1 Mountune Turbo. And last but by no means least, that I have here at least, Tim Mizzen. We heard from him earlier. He won the Burton Power Blue Oval Saloon Series in that wonderful Fiesta Mark III.
Congratulations.
Yes, well done to those guys. I think there was one other that I spotted that I wanted to give a shout out, but I know that it didn't appear in that list for various reasons. The Group A, Paul Mensley won the Group A championship as
We
well.
did, yeah.
So well done to that.
Well done.
So you didn't even know I prepared that, did you, mate?
No, it was nice. It's good to see you're doing something these days, Chris. You know, you don't want to keep you slacking and over the winter. I haven't spoken to you for 3 months.
Yeah, and thanks for giving me lots of warning. Should we do a show next week? Yeah, okay.
Well, it was one of them ones where I found this to be, originally why we did it was to inform everybody and everything, because the people that want to know or watching this show anyway, right, will ask me the questions. So we said, right, well, let's do this and we talk about it and tell everybody what's going on. And so there was the show was for that, and sorry, I completely lost my train of thought then. Sonny just texted me about something. No, sorry.
I thought you were actually trying to work out the most politically correct way to say something then, because I wouldn't put it past the big dog to be going, shall I, shan't I?
No. But no, like it was, we set this up to inform people, and there was so much going on. The dinner dance, and I'll go through the list now because obviously we've got Sam Daffin has put his car on the park stand at Auto Sports, and thank you very much for doing that. So he's up there, next couple of days on and off. But we do have a present at Auto Sport. He wasn't really sure how it would go, if I'm honest with you, because there's been mixed reviews about it over the last few years. So they bark offered it to us, and we took it quickly as well. Sam's car's nice and clean and tidy, and looks the part. So we thought we'd ask him, and he gladly put it on the stand this afternoon. Actually, he was texting me whilst I was at work. So thank you very much for that. And also on that note, so we won't be. Sorry, I was going to go through my list. Forgive me, I'm really unprofessional tonight, more than usual. But there we go. So we're not going to be doing Race Retro this year. To be honest with you, as a club, as I've said to people before, I pay the same amount as everybody else. I pay the membership. I race my car and I pay as much as everybody else. And we've just looked at costs and just said, you know what, we need to cut back at costs. And we didn't feel that having a stand at Race Retro would add the value that the monetary value that you'd expect. Really, it's nice to have, and there's lots of other clubs that are there, and good luck to those clubs. But we really want to get back. Last year I felt the club was almost a bit over bloated. We had the Croft thing, which was great. It was on the TV, it was at Super Tour, it was everywhere, and it was marvellous. But actually, we're a club run by the members for the members, and I want that ethos to be. I'm always quite keen to keep that ethos. It's difficult to keep as it gets bigger. Mark Charlatton's organised a barbecue for all of us, and that helps a lot, bringing people together, just sitting around having a chat with barbecues. But we wanted to look. So you'll see, we're really trying to cut costs and give that back to the drivers. And then later on, I'll talk about race entry costs and how the maximum they'll be. And, if the seasons, then prices can come down as the season goes on. We just don't know how many people turn up. That's the thing is, we have to book and commit to track time, which is tens of thousands of pounds. I won't go into price, but it's a lot of money on the hope that everyone will turn up. And we just never know, because someone will ring up and go, sorry, Stu, I've got to get a kitchen this year, and I've not fixed the car from last year, and blah, 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 and my daughter's got this, and blah, blah. And so we don't really know. So from the economic, the way everybody I speak to and the way the economic situation is in this country, we felt we should cut back, which is why we cut back on Race Retro. But also on the same sort of footing, we've gone in, and the class trophies are back for everybody. If they've got a certain amount of cars in their class, we'll do 1, 2, and 3 on a class. That was requested by a lot of drivers and we just try and bring that back, so the drivers will all get their a bit more. It's just a bit more love for the drivers. I'm trying to get that out. Sorry, and hopefully that will be reflected in the season and reflected in the quid numbers.
No, and I mean, that kind of comes back to the comment I was even making when I was trying to encourage people to come to the awards night, including even if you haven't won anything. It's such a community that when it gets together, it works well. It's lovely. And this is from someone, outside of it, on the edge of it, that looks at it. It is such a fun, vibrant community with people with the same interests, same obsessions, dare I say. And so I completely get that. And it is, I remember, was it 2 seasons ago where you had Silverstone at the beginning of the year and you absolutely caught a cold, didn't you, on that one?
Really badly, yeah. The weather was bad. We lost a load of dosh. Everybody booked it at the same time. There was 3 other clubs that booked it basically in sequential weeks, and we were the last one. So by the time it got to us, everybody had already been round it enough. And once you've done the Grand Prix once, you don't want to keep going round and round for 600-700 quid or whatever it was. And yeah, we do catch it, and that's why you've got to be. It's weird, right? But once the lights go out at Donington, and you go, hang on a minute, there's 120 cars and blah blah blah, and you go, right, now we can look at the money. We can say, right, we know where we are, because these people are come here to be part of the championship. You've got weekend people coming in, but for me, it's we've just got to keep an eye on the money.
No, absolutely. And I know that you kind of try to almost do the opposite of what Oasis do in dynamic pricing, don't you? You're like the other direction than Oasis.
Do not talk to me about Oasis tickets. Do not talk to me about them things. A whole day of my life gone. But anyway.
You're too old for Oasis anyway, mate. It's fine.
I used to enjoy it, but yeah, anyway. But I'll let everybody else enjoy it.
Just quickly,
no race retro. Go
on. Sorry, mate. Just quickly going that, from earlier when you got distracted, Sonia, bless her, did say, sorry, that's my fault. She knows she distracted you. Stuart Caie says, thank you for where we were talking about his championship win and probably the race that I just adored. It was just so much fun. And Peggy Spackman says, good evening. Happy New Year, Dawesy. Hello, darling. Question for Stuart. When do the timetables get released for each race weekend? So how much in advance do the timetables get released?
They get put out. I'd expect the Donington one to come out within the next sort of 4 to 6 weeks, to be honest with you. Mark Turner at Bark is quite good at getting everything organised like that. The issue we have is we kind of know the time slots, and we had this at Thruxton, and we don't really like doing it. But Thruxton, we didn't have a great turnout. The weather was bad, by a lot of cars were broken by that point, and so we did move things around, even on the week that was coming to it. So we're going to try and sort of stop that as much as we can this year. But yeah, normally the race meeting is a couple of weeks, really. I don't like doing anything after the cut-off.
It can be like little tweaks, can't it? And sometimes out of your control. And I know why Peggy's asking, because her fiance Ross Parker, from what I hear, is that he's looking to hopefully come and race with you guys, which is he'll have a whale of a time without question. And Peggy and the little one will be along to support him, I'm sure. So that's probably where that question's come in. So yeah, a couple of weeks before, but there might be slight tweaks to it leading into it. We tend to try to do a show
the week after cut-off. Yeah, so we do the Wednesday, don't we? We do the Wednesday night before race meeting.
Exactly right, and sort of have an idea of what who's there. The timetable should be finalised by then. All of those kind of things. So hopefully that answers that for you, Peggy. And good to hear from you. And Happy New Year to you, Peggy, and to Ross. So no race retro. 2025 calendar was the next one in the list. Look, see, and I've even done this again. Look
at that. There you go.
Hey, organised, mate. So 22nd, 23rd of March, Donington Park on the national circuit. So you're not going down to Melbourne.
No, we didn't. I didn't really like it, if I'm honest.
A lot of people don't.
No, I didn't like it. I thought it ruined the circuit. I'd never done it before, and for one reason or another.
There's a big bump, isn't there, as well, going down into the hairpin as well.
You've got to go over the hill, and you're sort of braking. I think it sort of ruined the flow of the circuit. Going through the chicane 3 abreast is always much more fun. So anyway, we go with the national, and I think everybody else is on that bill. TCR out there. I think the Mini's there. There's a few other bits and bobs. Civic Cup, I think I'll be there. And everybody kind of agreed we wanted to do the national, so that was that.
Fair dues. I've emailed David Addison to find out whether there's any chance I can be on the commentary team for that one, because I think that might be the only one I can do with you guys this year. But we'll wait and see about that. I know, yeah, because obviously Super Touring weekend went wrong, didn't it? That David Willey he said to me that he made a mistake, but hey ho. 19th, 20th of April, Brands Hatch Indy.
So that's the truck meet. So it's the Easter truck meeting. It's a massive meeting.
Wow.
So there's the Easter truck meeting. We've got plenty of grids there, plenty of chaos, Brands Indy, a nice old fashioned club meeting, all down in the paddock, bit of barbecue, beers in the Kentagon, and some fun to be had by all.
I like the sound of that. Pembrey, you're going over to South Wales for a triple header with double points in May.
Yes, so obviously it's a Bark circuit. Mark had spoken to us about that date and said, look, it's the 35th anniversary. Again, that is the truck Pembrey meeting, so again, it'll be busy there. And they said, look, we've got plenty of track time. We can do you trying to, get people down there. We do 3 races and we do double points. There's a big party on a Saturday night, celebrate 35 years of
35 years of
what?
what?
Of Bark being the custodians of Pembrey, not Pembrey circuit, but Bark having the lease or something like that. Cool. And Phil will be putting on a party of some sort, and food and chaos. So yeah, that will be. I mean, it's a bit of a slap to get down there, but once you're there, it's a brilliant circuit, and again, it brings that sort of club ethos again, camping and just nice. It's just nice. So that's Pembrey for you, and then obviously Super Tour Power again.
Yeah. 28th, 29th of June, and I like the way you do it on that thing, because it is classed as 2 different race meets, isn't it? The GP circuit on the Saturday, and then the Indy circuit on the Sunday, with 2 races for every championship on each day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and this one will be the last one in its current format as Super Tour Power. It was always the sort of we had conversations about it. So next year, Brands Hatch actually, next year, yeah, we're on right, yeah. Next year, Brands Hatch actually have a big event on that I'm not allowed to mention, but they need the Grand Prix circuit for it. And we're not going to be doing that. There will be some involvement from the club in that big event, but it won't be Super Tour Power 3 or 4. And then the year after that, we'll come back and start again and do something slightly different, slightly bigger, but still the club and still the loves there and everything we've got. It's just the initial Super Tour Power 3. There will be a gap, so there will not be a Super Tour Power 4 next year. So for those that are like, I don't know, it's like, do it, get your car on, get it fixed, and let's have a race.
And for anybody who's not been, you have to. It is just such an incredible weekend on track and off track, and the spirit and everything. I'm gutted that I'm not going to be at that one. I held out, but you've got an amazing commentary team. I have to say, there you've got Alan Hyde, who of course is touring car commentary royalty in reality, and you've got Mark Werrell, that's always been one of my mentors since I started in commentary. So you've got one heck of a commentary team there. Personally, selfishly, I'm gutted I'm missing it, but genuinely, anybody on the fence, get there, go and do it. If you're not racing, go and watch it. It's just so much fun. It really is.
So we're going to open up the deposit scheme for that. The next couple of weeks.
And I know this is at the bottom of your list, but since we're talking about it, it's worth mentioning. You put a comment in the thing, full memberships.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Do you know what? And it's quite controversial, but I put it there. Is that I want full members to be there, and I need to figure out whether we allow any weekend members to come at all. Obviously, a weekend because Super Tour is a weekend because people are travelling from other countries. We'll come to that, but some of our friends are visiting from a very, very long way again. And but for the other races, I mean, I'm on the fence a little bit about it, but I have to be honest. Some of the cars that have turned up as weekend members, I don't think, I'm not entirely sure it's fair on drivers. Really, these people that race who go away to Pembury and then get caught up in someone else's incident of a weekend member. I don't know. There's always that balance of money versus quality, and actually I want quality. We're not in it for the money. We just want to make everyone have the best races they can with the best club on the best circuits. So we'll come back to you on that one. I'm on the fence about it. I have discussed it with Colin and the committee, but I do need to really have a proper chat with the committee about how we're going to do it.
Okay.
So
just know that there's a conversation afoot about that. Is probably the best thing to say.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, because it just gets so. We have a lot of situations where people, because everybody in the club is so used to be able to ring up Bark on a Monday morning and go, "Oh, I forgot to put me. Can I do my race entry?" Blah blah blah. And of course, it had sold out like 2 months before. And so there are people that are regular club members that are not maybe sitting watching this show or on the internet, or no, people race with us all the time, but just not internet-y type people who just didn't know. So I need to figure that all out. So this my problem to figure out, but we really want to push the full membership, people getting points, not have to worry about guests or anything like that, and just we're all racing 4 points for the flag and for the glory. So there we go. I just try to make it fairer for club members. That's all.
No, and I think that's a key thing, isn't it? That's standing out is, you brought it in the context of several things. There is that there is very much about thinking about the members, thinking about, the people bringing their cars out to race, the spirit in the paddock, all of those kind of things. And it's lovely to hear. So kudos to you, mate, and the committee and everybody else. So well done on that. Just quickly going back, because I know we didn't finish.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, bit of Snetton.
Yeah, Snetterton 300 on the 9th, 10th of August. That's going to be good. Yeah,
it's quite good. It's again, sadly, Bark didn't have a date for us around that time, so we've gone with MSVR again on that. Joe East and David, very good looking after us, so thank you very much for that. And I think it's like an all-comersy type. There'd be actually a lot of racing on that weekend. I know Snetterton is a bit of a not everybody's favourite. I really enjoy it actually, and there will be, I think we've got. I need to check, but I'm sure we've got the garage. We've got there isn't that many championships racing that weekend. I'm sure there's like an all-comers race on the Sunday, like a 30-minute race or something. So more on that once it happens, but it will actually be quite a nice little event. Wow, look at that.
Oh, thank you, Mrs.
Caie.
The current Mrs. Dawes has just delivered another drink. Thank you, darling.
That's it. All right, I'll just sip mine.
Hey, listen, mate. I've got to make you feel like we're properly back doing this, haven't I?
I did contemplate, but I thought, no, I'm going to. I'll save it until I get to dinner dance to have a beer.
If it makes you feel any better, I contemplated it as well, and then just chuckled at myself. And
so yeah, we've got Snet. Sadly, there's a bit of a gap. It's a big old gap, which is a shame. But if we put a September date in here, it just kind of didn't work. There wasn't one, which was bloody annoying, quite frankly. But we are at Silverstone International in the wing building. Everyone can moan about parking, but it is a great circuit, and I think it's a great way to end the season. If I'm honest with you, a bit of Silverstone. It's one of the ones everyone moans about, but everybody goes. So should be good. We're trying to keep the pricing down on all this stuff over the season. But yeah, as leading on to that, we're talking about we're trying to stay around the pricing that we was in 2024. So the smaller circuits at sort of 350, and then the bigger circuits were they 450, weren't they? Something like that. Your Donington and your Brands, etc. We're not putting our prices up. As I said, if anything, if more people turn up, the prices will actually come down. So I really have sort of started with a fresh sheet of paper this year and a different view on it. And I just want to take it back to providing sort of good value racing for clubmen.
No, and fair shout on that, mate. I mean, it still looks like a good calendar. I can understand why you're a bit gutted. There was an aside there. There's a non-championship all-comers
Yes,
start thing at the
yeah,
end.
yeah. So that's the Into the Night. Oh, it's going to be cold, but it's the Into the
Oh, is
Night
it? Yeah, okay. The
race
brick
with
car thing.
with Claire's lot. So I have to call them brick car endurance, but so yeah, they're doing that. Bark said, "Look, we've got a load of track time. Do you want to do an end of season sort of fun race? We might do it as a handicap. We might do it as a fun. I'm not sure. We've got they've given us about an hour or so, and we can just have a burn around Brands Hatch in the freezing cold. So yeah, it'd be good.
Sweet. Don't underestimate those. I do love those
I
races.
love them. Yeah, they're great. And also, like they're doing the Into the Night thing as well. It's after the clocks change in November, so we'll race sort of Saturday afternoon or something, and it'll be it'd be good. It'll be a great little race meeting. A nice way to. I always like the all-comersy type race that we do sometimes when the track time comes up, because there's no pressure on us as a committee to. Oh my God, Chris Dawes has turned up and his BMW's got the wrong wheels on it, or Stuart's got the wrong sticker. You're just going to have a race, and I'm sure Anton won it last time. I'm sure Anton Martin won the Into the Night race. Anyway, I'm sure he won because there was a handicap on it, and there was Jazz and Lucky were racing, and they had to do more laps than him, and yeah, it was quite. It's good, it's nice, just a nice, fun bit of racing at the end of the season. We'll try and do it as cheap as we possibly can, and just try and get as many people along. And yeah, that's what we're about.
I've got to tell you though, handicap races for us commentators is horrific because we have
it is. I know.
We haven't got a Scooby what's going on.
Not we're driving around and around. We've got foggies. What's happening?
It's brilliant. But then I treat it in the spirit it's supposed to be treated, and we have some fun with it, for crying out loud. And that's sometimes that it's just that's the way it should be, and I think that's the spirit for it. Talking of the way it should be taken, is that Tim Mizzen says Molly wants to know how old she has to be to race Dad's car with Classic Touring Car Racing Club.
I'm not sure. I think he's 16, isn't it? 16. I'll have to double check. I think he's 16. In fact, because what's his name? Who's the Mercedes driver? My brain's gone terrible today. There's the English Mercedes driver. I can't think of his name. What's his name? No. Anyway, he races the club to get his license, to get his super license.
Okay. Yeah.
He races at Donington.
Yes, I know who you mean. I've got a mental block as well. George Russell, thank you.
George Russell, there you go. Thank you.
George Russell. Tom Harvey said George Russell. Yeah.
George Russell raced with the Classic Touring Car Club in 2014 at Donington in one of Andy Johnson's Peugeot 206s, I think it was. He raced like he did race in like every championship possible to get his super license. He raced it. I think he did Combe, didn't he?
Well, I commentated him at Alton Park in a Citroen 2CV.
Yeah. I knew he did. Like, you have to do a certain amount of races, don't you? And he did. He raced like everything, but he did race for the club. And the history book showed that the possible future world champion raced with us. So
and he was quicker than Guy Martin when he did as well.
Yeah, we'll leave that where it is. I think.
Yeah, exactly. Sonia says Saturday night in the Kentigan, so this is for that November 8th Into the Night race. It should be a brilliant night if going by the past one. Well, saying that, is that the Into the Night race or is that the Super Touring Power? Because both of those were the Super Touring was blooming at night.
I think we could safely say we'll all be there on all three of the trips to Brands Hatch. So you can take your pick.
Absolutely. Tom Harvey's also said, let's see the Tamiya cars, Stu.
This is my little model shop here of lots of models that I have not built. I just switched my camera off, didn't I?
There you go. You keep doing that, don't you? As soon
as I keep doing it. I've broken it now, look.
You have. It's gone. You look prettier. That's all I'm saying, mate.
Don't be like that. Come on. I've completely blown it up.
You have that. While you're trying to sort that out, I'm going to put Stuart says George Russell won the F4 Championship the same weekend at SNET as I won the production BMW Championship in 2014.
There you go.
So what
There you go.
Stu Waite's saying is that he should have been the Mercedes F1 driver.
Right, got you. I know. Yeah, got you.
That's
Yeah,
what he's saying, Stu, isn't it, mate? Easy. I can get you there. James Ibbotson, evening, mate. Good to see you're here, buddy. I still remember, so funny, the time that we were at that awful weekend with the weather, or day 2 of the weather at Cadwell Park last season, and James Ibbotson was down in the pits, and he could hear me talking about the fact that he was going to be going out. There was a problem with his car, and he was giving me the thumbs up and everything. That was absolutely brilliant from James, and he still went back out. And Stu Waite's put his thumbs up, absolutely. So he agrees he should have been the Mercedes Formula One driver. We know it, mate. Me and the big dog already knew that, so it's fine, not a problem. In terms of now, I asked you this, but I didn't get an answer. In the line of 2025 calendar, there was a comment that said triple po.
Points, triple points.
Right. What's that?
That was it. Triple points was for it's triple races, so each race will get a point. So there'll be double points. Sorry, it was double points at Pembroke. Sorry, you confused me then, because I wrote that basically whilst I was in another meeting trying to do my actual job. But yeah, no, it's not. It's double points will be awarded to each of the races at Pembroke.
Then I know why you made that mistake. Double points, but it's a triple race.
Yeah, exactly what I did. Yeah, exactly what I
saved you.
But anyway, we'll move on.
I saved you, big dog. Don't you worry. Next point in your list: flaws in Thunder. Discuss.
Yeah. So there was the rules and regulations. So the regs went in. There's been very few changes in the regulations this year. There was conversations about changing from slicks to treads in Boss, and that didn't happen because you wouldn't have any cars left. And there was the weights for the M3 that I know Stuart had been in discussion with Colin about, which he has made some adjustments to if you want to speak to Colin about. Classes 1, 2, 3. If you've got more than 7 in your class, we did nick that from somewhere else, but I'm never going to admit it. Thunder floors. So it was always it was a topic all year. The Thunder floors, and we wanted to calm the situation down because a lot of cars had flat floors and lots of aero, and it's okay for it's okay if people want to do that, but it had got out of hand. So one thing we did was Colin was speaking with some of the drivers and come up with the idea that they can continue to have their flat floors, but the floor can't extend out of the underneath of the car. So, i.e., you can't have it scooping up the sides, or I think it was beyond the front splitter, and I think it's sticking out the back, although Colin will correct me with that bit. So we just try and calm the situation down a little bit. And I wanted to talk about it tonight because it's still quite early in the season. I know people are preparing cars, and it has been in discussions with the Thunder guys. So don't shoot the messenger. But that was the only real. I'd say that was the only significant change within it. There's no changes in 03, 83, 66 have been like that for where they are for years. The one that's the big one, as I said, was really this 2013 championship that Colin's put the regulation together for. So we will publish a draft once Bark sign it off, and even though they're all Auto Sport, I'm on their case ASAP, and I'll put it up on the website probably next week, about this sort of time next week, if I'm honest, because they're not going to be back till Monday. But yeah, very little changes. The issues we have with the regulations is you fix one thing and you break 2 others.
Yeah.
And also, nobody ever asked for a regulation change that made their car slower.
Yes.
But also, lots of people ask for very decent things for very decent reasons. Sort of people ask about slicks, or can we do this and try and save money? And we do. As I say, I've had my financial cap on, really, if I'm honest, this all Christmas and up to now. But as Sonia's quite rightly just texted me, if people do want to know about the regs, Colin will be at the AGM. Full members only, of course, at the AGM. Don't bring your mates or your weekend members because you'll be sent home. But for members, this is a club run by the people for the people. So come and have a conversation at the AGM if you don't agree or you want to know anything about it. Where it's at the Thistle Hotel or whatever it's called. Is it the Maguire by Brands Hatch on Saturday the 18th at 10 a.m. There is also a rally on it next Saturday at 10 a.m. the 18th. The rally's also on, so after the AGM's done, you can go and watch the rally at Brands. Wow. So there you are. But yeah, if you want to come and have conversations or agree, disagree, everybody from the committee will be there, and we can, have a chat about racing. And come, there's teas and coffees, and please, everybody's welcome, and I'd love them to be there.
Mark Finney asked a question: any remote access to the AGM?
There isn't. We during COVID times we were doing it via the WebEx, but to be honest, we did it last time at Brands, and it was so much better sitting in a room having a chat with people and discussing the club. It's all right doing this stuff, but you do miss that. There is a sort of personal. It's a bit you're just staring at the screen, so we're not doing it. We're not giving any remote access. Okay. But we are offering tea and biscuits, so you can always come along. And it's the Thistle Hotel, and they do a nice lunch, don't they? Everyone's a winner.
Everyone loves the bourbon and
the
biscuits.
Yeah. So yes, please come along. Let me just sit through anything else I've got to talk about whilst I'm here. And that was it really. Just please, if you are doing your memberships, please can you sign up so that you save your number from the 1st of February. Every year I've grown men crying because they've lost their number. Please don't do that. I've run out of tissues for people. Could you please just sign up and save your number, get yourself entered, because it helps us. Because I say, pre-93 have got 40 cars. Let's give them a grid. It helps us now, because now is the time when we have time to actually speak as a committee, speak to everybody, go, we need a few more grids at Pembury because we've got a load of people coming. So if you are watching this and you're like, I haven't done my membership now, I know it's a little bit more money this year. We put it up a tiny bit just because, to be honest, we had to. It was a bit heartbreaking to do because it stayed at £99 forever. But hopefully we can hold at this price now for a couple of years.
Which is
125 quid.
Cool.
So please do your memberships. It's not done by the Bark entry system. You just log into that. And if you don't have a login, it says I'm a new user, create a new user, and you can just purchase a club membership from there.
And when's that open?
It's been open for 2 months.
Cool. So go and get it done. And I agree, because I've been in conversation with another championship that I'll keep nameless for obvious reasons, and they're going because they've got quite a gap before their first race, and so people are hanging fire on signing up for their membership, and it's causing them a huge headache. And it's like, it's not being cheeky by saying get signed up, because you guys organizing this need to have an idea what the size is looking like.
That's the thing. I think at the moment things can still be quite fluid with sort of track time. I know a lot of it's locked in, but if you go, hang on a minute, we've got a lot of cars in 83. We've got a lot of this. We've been approached by other circuits wanting to do 83 and 66 races, but we'll see. If you could please just sign up, we would all of us would very much appreciate it, because it is we're doing it for you. We're not doing it for us. We're doing it for you. So please, if you could do this one thing, we'd appreciate it.
And that's why I want to add my 2 pennies worth, is that this again.
It's crazy. You just don't know where you are, do you?
No, exactly. And that's, so from the outside, I've seen that people do need to sort of be aware. The championships need to be able to organise, and I'm involved or in conversations with many of them, and it can be an issue. Sonia Gibbons says, please support your club. We're only as good as our members. And I understand that. Kevin Denwood says, will we be contacted to confirm our race numbers?
Yeah, it'll all be confirmed. So after the first, if you've asked for a race number that's been used, if it's not been taken by the 1st of February, then you get that number. If you want a race number that is being used, but if not, then you will continue to use the number you were using before.
Okay. Just an aside, probably for you as IT support, one issue that keeps popping up, says Stuart, is some people not getting the club emails that go out and not found in spam either. Happened a bit last year with ticket emails, not sure why. I don't think there's an easy answer to that one, in fairness, but
it's because the ISPs have a it looks like spam because we send out, there's 2,500 people on that mailing list, and it looks like the traffic over the internet looks like spam's being fired out from a certain address. I mean, they send thousands and thousands at once, and so it doesn't even go as far as spam. They just shut it down. I got one of the guys in 83. We just can't get him to get emails. It's really weird. So I'll have a look if Stuart. I'll have a look at that tomorrow when I'm at work. To be honest with you, Stuart. So don't worry about it.
can I say this is a lovely email as well. Tune In Shed said, renewed membership now. Good points. Well made. Mate, seriously, that's a lovely comment.
Thank you very much.
And I'm glad that you understand the situation. That's why I wanted to add my 2 pennies worth to go. It's not just the club going, please help us out. It's from an external source as well, is that it is necessary to plan the year and everything else. Joe Collier says, can you go over the Thunder reg changes again, please?
It was just the floor, the flat floors, not extending out so further than the sills or further than the door shut. So some people had flat floors are extending right out. They should be under the car because the floor is under the car. That's it. Okay,
cool. I hope that helps, Joe, mate. And thank you for asking it, and thank you to everybody. I mean, I don't know about you. I'm first of all, I'm really excited about the awards do, but you know I always am. I love having the party with you guys. I'm so excited about the season because, you know, even when I'm not there, I shall still be aware of it. You and I'll be hopefully jumping on more of these shows and keeping everybody involved. Stuart says, if we all do our bit, we can attract more people, increase the grid sizes. 100%. There's no question about it.
Yeah. And it is, as we've seen before, you know, we certainly how it worked with Pre-66, you know, that was years ago. That was like 6 cars or something. And, you know, everybody got behind it and started to get more and more and more cars. And success breeds success, doesn't it? So 100%. We get more cars, we get people in signed up, we know where we are, and we can shout from the rooftops that these championships have got all these cars and come and join us. It's marvellous.
No, agreed. Joe Collins says thank you for going through those regs again. Nick the Prawn Vaughan says, thanks, gents. Looking forward to seeing people at the dinner dance. I agree. I genuinely can't wait it. I always say it is that it's just so much fun. I think that brings this welcome back show. Yeah, it does. The good news is it's the start of the 2025 season. We got the awards coming up in, what is it? It's 2.5 weeks away, isn't it now?
He's 2.5 weeks away.
Yeah, so we've got that, the starter pistol, get back together again, and then it's into March that you've got your Donington Park, which I'm desperately hoping I'm going to be there with you guys, but obviously that's out of my control a little bit, but we'll see how that one goes, and hopefully we'll be back doing more of these, Big Dog, as well, because it's great to sort of feel that community spirit again, isn't it, mate?
It is, yeah. You know, we've had. We all needed a bit of time off after last year. Last year was crazy for everybody. It was the craziest season we've ever had, the most cars ever had, the most races and this and that and traveling. And we had 3 months off and, you know, we're back. We are, mate. James Dunkley, the Bacon Dude, says, thanks, guys. See you at the Wards. Looking forward to seeing the jacket, mate. Look forward to it. Well, Big Dog, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Always. So good to catch up with you again, buddy. And I'll see you and everybody else in 2.5 weeks. See you later, mate. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Cheers all.